And Jawbers are back. This is Big D with MJ,
Woo.
and we are doing SummerSlam 2023 review. Um, Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor
Fin frickin' Balor.
for the WWE Heavyweight Championship.
Yep.
How'd you like it?
Oh, as soon as I thought that Seth Rollins was has redeemed himself to me, especially with that Cody feud, he goes and does something like this. And I guess I'm not just generally not the biggest fan of Seth Rollins, and I think I have to just make peace with it, or maybe it's
Well,
just this match.
you've already made peace that you're not a Finn Balor fan.
No, I am not a Finn Balor. So this is a very trying thing, especially after watching Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler beat the fuck out of each other, like for real. I mean, maybe 90% for real, but connecting, boots, punches, and then watching two grown ass men, with Gunther and McIntyre, beat the fuck out of each other and powerbomb and lariat the fuck out of each other and throw each other around. This motherfucking match opens up with 40 punches, just how Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey did it. They did it for like 6, 7 punches where they actually really hit each other. And this shit that these two motherfuckers pulled got me so fucking pissed off. And I don't get pissed off that much like at wrestling. It's just I get disappointed mostly. But this fucking shit, dude, bro, got me pissed the fuck off. I mean, are you fucking kidding? And in the middle of the match, Seth Rollins grabs Finn Balor's beard and proceeds to hit him in the head like 6 or 8 times, followed by kicks in the face, which, granted, he connected two right in the fucking mouth, made Finn Balor bleed. Okay? That part was good. I mean, not that I wanted to see people get hurt, but if you're going to get kicked in the face, hey man, at
Right,
least you'll fucking
right,
bleed out of it. You know what I mean? And so it
right.
just threw me out of the match. And I see Finn Balor, and I never enjoy his matches. I'm just not a Finn Balor fan. And as much as respect I had for him during the Royal Rumble, or I'm sorry, at WrestleMania with the Hell in a Cell, what happened to him or
Yep.
what he did to continue the match, as much respect I had for him, it's just I still don't like him. I still don't like his fucking matches. I think they're first way too fucking long, and second of all, I don't understand what everybody says when what everybody sees that makes him so great. He does a lot of moves. He's like fucking Ricochet to me. I mean, what did you think? What did you think about the match? I mean, I know the storyline is interwoven into this, and we should probably talk about it. But what did you think?
I mean, as a match, the match did not match the story.
Okay.
I don't think. I thought the story, and again, the story could have been. They probably, I mean, besides Roman
Oh,
and Jay, this was probably the second most um, dove in of a story. This is the second strongest storyline going into this pay per view. I feel like it still could have been a lot stronger. Um, there was a like there they brought up the past of when Finn Balor was the inaugural um, I'm just well, I don't even know what they called it at the time, WWE champion, but he only had it for, or it was him and Seth Rollins had a match for the title. Finn Balor won it, but he got injured during that match and had to forfeit it. the next day. So his title reign was 1 day long, and Seth Rollins ended up becoming the next champion. And so Finn Balor's had this whole 7 year long vendetta against Seth Rollins. And like they had this platform to make it even more personal, and they kind of did a good job of it. Like they brought the side of, like you mentioned in the past, with like the Miz having the serious side
Hmm.
come out of him a little bit against LA Knight. Well, I saw finally the serious side of Finn Balor come out, and I really liked it.
Mm.
And a couple of the promos with him and Seth, because I feel like Finn can do a decent um, heel, as long as he's not like, because when he's with the Judgment Day, he's being a little bit more comical and like a cocky, arrogant, but not as like the seriousness isn't there. But Seth kind of brought it out of him. But they still, as much as they started to bring out of it, they still like built the story kind of a little too fast. And I don't know if it's just like the timing between this and then or whatever, like as far as like the beginning of this feud to what is now this is being the culmination. I don't know if it's just like that period of time just isn't long enough or what, but it fell flat for me as far as the match goes.
Yeah.
Um, it wasn't bad by any means, but it just wasn't as emotional as the story.
It wasn't as personal as the story. It wasn't ever anywhere close as personal, and I think because when I watch these two work, it's like I feel like I'm watching a video game, and I'm starting to realize maybe that's really what I feel like with Ricochet as well. It's like I'm watching a fucking video game, and they're good at doing moves. They're good like at intercepting each other and working off each other. I mean, they're both really great athletes. That's not in question. The storyline itself was that Seth Rollins, like you said, they were in a match. Finn Balor won, but he had to forfeit it because Seth Rollins did a buckle bomb and hurt somebody else again. And it hurt his shoulder. It was 7 years ago. And in 7 years, it's like he harbored this vendetta, you know? And I mean, that sounds like a really good basis for a storyline. But for me, it's
Right.
Finn fucking Balor, and I'm out. I mean, Seth Rollins is not. It's like I don't understand Seth Rollins. Like when I watched him against Cody, I think it was Cody's story that I was cheering for. You know, but I'm also realizing that I cheer for something that's closer to what wrestling used to be, and wrestlers that used to be used to be before, and you know. LA Knight is one I'm really excited about, and he is very much like an attitude wrestler, attitude era wrestler.
Right.
So I'm just realizing that this type of match, which personally went too long, was and this is not a knock on women. When I say two bitches fighting, it has nothing to do with women. That's what it felt like when they start punching. I just couldn't, dude. I couldn't. I was like, you fucking kidding me.
Yeah, you're out of it right away.
I was out of it right away. So it really like, and this is what I expect though out of Finn Balor especially. Like I expect him to do something that really throws me out of the match, and he doesn't know that. And there's plenty of people who love that kind of wrestling, and uh, I don't know. I mean, I think the only cool thing about this match for me was the finish. When a priest pushed in so Judgment Day came in. Seth Rollins, they thought they were gonna fuck with Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins actually uh, fought back and got all three of them. And then a priest slides the Money in the Bank suitcase in to Finn Balor, and Finn Balor is like literally just over it. He was about to grab it,
Yeah.
and then Seth Rollins stomps him right in the fucking head. And one, two,
Yeah.
three. I thought that was great. I thought that finish was fucking awesome. So I got to give credit where credit's due. That was dope. Um, but that's it. That's it for me. Like I am giving him 3 toilet paper rolls simply because I feel like of the athleticism. But I'm pissed. I'm borderlining 2 toilet paper rolls to this match. Personally, for me, I don't know where you at. It was too long for me. Forget it. Too long. They started out, immediately took me out of it, and I didn't care.
Um, yeah, I'm going with 3. Um, I was kind of rooting for Finn um to win this. I don't, but it just yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it just fell flat for me.
Mm.
Um, it took 7 years and did nothing with it, and what it ends up being is, and I don't know if it was just like expectations or what, because they're already like planting these seeds of like this dissension amongst Judgment Day, and why would you put a heavyweight title on somebody that's in a dissension amongst their fellow brethren? Um, but
I feel like that was probably what prompted this whole feud with Seth Rollins to begin with. It wasn't the 7 year thing. I think it was literally like, what would
right,
be intriguing, what would be interesting is doing that,
yeah,
you know? I don't know. Like, I got nothing against Finn Balor personally. Oh my God. I always try to, if I can save my ass there, because I don't. I don't. Sincerely don't. It's just, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. And it's really hard. Like, every time I watch him, I was like, let's give him a chance. Let's give him a fucking chance. And every time the matches are too long, too much. It all just goes to shit. Which is like, it's just, and speaking of too much, like the next match we're gonna review, which is the women's Raw 3-way title. I mean, that match, that match was too much, too long, too much. Not like it was just they were always a step behind. Felt like, um,
it was a little sloppy.
yeah, and it's just because you got to remember so much shit. And I feel that that's the same thing with Seth Rollins. Like Cody and Seth, I'm starting to realize that Cody was the one that fucking elevated that feud so much. Because I never understood Seth Rollins. Like I always thought, like people like Seth Rollins, one of the best. I mean, sure, people like that shit, but I don't understand it. I simply don't understand Seth Rollins. This match was too long. They did too much. I mean, this match could have been like 5, 7 minutes, and it would have been great, you know. But like, it limits the amount of shit you get to do, and these guys just. So what if you're fucking athletic? I don't care. So anyway, we're at 6 out of 10, which is right down the middle, which is how
Average.
yeah, which is how the middle of SummerSlam felt like. I don't think I'm the only one to. I'm
Well,
sure you've.
no, we had the uh, Battle Royal,
Yep.
Shayna versus Ronda,
Yep.
Gunther versus Drew McIntyre, and now this,
Oof.
and they've all garnered 6 out of 10.
Yep.
toilet papers for us. So
No
that's
one
I
is.
mean that's and that comes to you putting this next to other pay-per-views, and it's not that bad of a show. So,
It's not. It's just like I think this middle
but
down the
it's
road is like, hey,
it's freaking SummerSlam. Like it should
yeah.
be it should be elevating everything.
I think it's a lot about their athleticism, really. That's keeping it at 3. I mean,
I don't
really.
know. I just felt it was like, and I look back on it. It's like it feels weird to be like it doesn't seem like we're that far from WrestleMania that like you're building all these like big storylines up, and they're just ending like flat. Like they just like ran out of time. I don't know. Just everything seemed to be everything just really seemed to be rushed for SummerSlam for everything. So
Mm. But yeah, I mean, it's tough, you know. It's tough sometimes because you're writing these shows are going, okay, and things change, and you have to adapt. And I don't even know, like, like it. It felt like a lot of these feuds were like, well, these guys have a little bit of history. Let's put them together. These guys have a little bit of history. Let's put them together. That's what it felt
yeah, like
like.
they're just continuing to hold off and just like make things linger.
Well, yeah, I mean, what else you gonna do? Y-
they're just biding. They're just continuing to bide time for
You know,
everything. Like so many things are putting other things on hold.
well, yeah, it's because they have a lot to fill. Like that's understandable. It's like listening to Jake the Snake Roberts talk about wrestling and how wrestling is like sex, and it's like you gotta, you get in that ring, or it's like even with the story, it's like how you get somebody excited to actually be in a sexual intercourse with somebody, right? It's the story is that like it's not even foreplay, it's just the beginning. It's like, oh, I'm so excited about this fucking person. And then, at the start of the match, that's a little bit of foreplay, or maybe the feud itself is a little bit of foreplay. But once you get into the match, it's like he eventually ends with a crescendo. And a lot of these matches felt like they were just stuck in foreplay a lot. It was just like all foreplay, just constant foreplay. Like it feels like some of these feuds need to be extended into foreplay, and from foreplay into, hey, let's get steamy here, and it's just foreplay. It's just all fucking foreplay. Just this
Yeah,
constant fucking foreplay that never comes. That's what it felt like. So blue balls.
yes.
I don't know, man. I think about all the shit I say, and then I'm like, like I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly, but whatever.
What does everybody want?
Foreplay.
Foreplay.
It just seems like it's all. What is it? One of my I heard this before. It says all retch and no vomit. So that's all
Yes.
you're doing.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's like watching a cat throw up.
yeah. Well, 6 out of 10. I don't know if you want to take us out. Or just
Yeah,
give us the.
6 out of 10. Check us out. Be sure to like, subscribe. Check us out. www.jawbers.com. That's JAWBERS.com. Until next time.
Love you. Bye.